The 1970s and 80s were the golden age of the American serial killer. But one man stood apart: Theodore Robert Bundy. Handsome, educated, and charismatic, Bundy built a perfect mask. But beneath the surface of the psychology major was a monster. His true self emerged early, from arranging knives around his sleeping aunt to drowning attempts on children. His only true companion was his beige Volkswagen Beetle, a car that gave him a sense of freedom, control, and ultimately, opportunity. He exploited a legal loophole. His juvenile records were purged at 18. In the eyes of the law, he was clean. That clean slate allowed him to pursue a terrifying hobby. His first victim, Linda Ann Healy, vanished in 1974. His signature was simple: approaching beautiful young women in public, pretending to be injured, and asking for help. Once they dropped their guard, he would strike, knocking them unconscious, dumping them into the missing passenger seat of his VW, and taking them to isolated locations. His terror spread across Washington, Utah, and beyond. The break came when Officer Hayward's brother, Captain Pete Hayward, connected the dots to a chilling account: the kidnapping attempt on Carol Duranch. Duranch's testimony was precise. She described Officer Rosenland, who lured her with a badge into his beige VW. She fought him off, narrowly escaping the struggle at a primary school playground. Fast forward 9 months, Officer Bob Hayward spots a suspicious beige VW driving without headlights in Salt Lake City. When Hayward gave chase, the driver, Bundy, fled. The chase ended in a deserted gas station. The driver, Bundy, emerged, looking calm. The search of the VW revealed the true intent. The passenger seat was removed, replaced by a toolbox filled with horror: a ski mask, a crowbar, an ice pick, plastic garbage bags, and female stockings. And in the trunk, handcuffs. Bundy was arrested but released on bail. However, Hayward remembered the Duranch report and alerted detectives. They finally connected the dots: the beige VW, the fake injury routine, and the fact that Bundy's ex-girlfriend had previously reported him as violent and secretive. In 1976, Bundy was convicted of kidnapping Duranch and moved to Colorado to face a murder trial. But this was only the beginning of the nightmare. Bundy, having studied law, chose to defend himself. The judge granted him unprecedented freedom: a private desk, telephone access, and, critically, unrestricted, uncuffed access to the courthouse law library. Bundy had been secretly training by jumping from his bunk to strengthen his legs. During a recess, the guard stepped outside for a cigarette. Bundy made his move. He bolted to the law library, climbed onto a chair, and leapt from the second-story window. Bruised but free, he fled into the surrounding mountains. For 6 brutal days he survived, battling exposure, hunger, and a massive FBI manhunt. He managed to steal an old car, only to be stopped by a patrolman who noticed his erratic driving. He was recaptured, ironically, just 2 blocks from the courthouse. But prison could not hold the monster. Within months, Bundy began planning his second, more meticulous escape. He used a hacksaw blade to cut a hole around a light fixture in his ceiling. He intentionally ate very little, losing weight to squeeze his body through the narrow vent. He managed to crawl through the ventilation system until he reached a crawl space above a guard's apartment.
He waited silently as the guard and his wife left for the evening. Bundy dropped down, changed into civilian clothes, and walked out the front door. The prison didn't realize he was gone for 17 hours. Bundy fled to Florida. His final savage rampage began at the Chi Omega sorority house in Tallahassee. In one horrifying night, 4 women were brutally attacked. 2 were left dead. Weeks later, he claimed his final victim, 12-year-old Kimberly Leach, luring her from a playground. This confirmed the most chilling pattern. His charm was a weapon, and his victims were getting younger. His reign ended when Officer David Lee spotted a stolen orange VW. Bundy, cornered, fought the officer, but was ultimately overpowered. The world's most terrifying manhunt was over. The trial was a televised spectacle. Bundy, still defending himself, proposed marriage to a woman in the courtroom, Carol Ann Boone, who later bore him a child while he was on death row. He was convicted of the Chi Omega murders and the murder of Kimberly Leach, and sentenced to death. Before his execution, Bundy confessed to 36 murders, but new DNA evidence suggests the true count may exceed 100, starting when he was just 14. The execution day, January 24, 1989, 10 years after his sentence, was a national celebration. Thousands gathered outside the prison, chanting one phrase, "Fry, Bundy, fry." Ted Bundy was the man who forced America to look at the monster, not in the shadows, but in the most charming, confident face. He redefined the term serial killer.